How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. Shib devs begin testing Shibarium to Ethereum bridge. Shibarium, the layer 2 network that's being built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, has now a testnet bridge that allows tokens to be transferred between the two networks, but it's only like a dummy one. So it says do not use your real assets. Lucy, their marketer, says do not use your real assets if you use this bridge, as it's not a real bridge yet. Bridges are good because they allow the network to reach into other networks, but they're also bad because they allow for an attack vector. So just be cautious if you're using any kind of bridge. SEC issues warning over misleading crypto audits. The SEC warned accounting firms working as crypto auditors to be careful how their reports are marketed, lest they be censored or suspended themselves. It appears that the SEC is cracking down on crypto companies claiming that proof of reserves reports are financial statement audits. As accounting firms increasingly engage in this sort of non-audit work, their clients' marketing and terminology risk misleading, suggesting that these alternative, non-audit arrangements are a parity within or even more precise than financial statement audit, Muter wrote in this statement. These suggestions are false, and non-audit arrangements are neither as rigorous nor as comprehensive as financial statement audits and may not provide a reasonable assurance to investors that the company's balances are truly being held one-to-one or more than one-to-one like claimed. In the case that an accounting firm carries out this type of report, but notices the crypto company calling it a financial audit, Muter says that the firm should take action. The accounting firm should consider making a noisy withdrawal, disassociating itself from the client, including by way of its own public statements, or if that is not possible, sufficient informing the commission, Muter wrote. France and Germany coordinating on Worldcoin investigation. Worldcoin has embarked on an ambitious drive to scan the irises of millions of people, giving them a digital passport in return. The project claims that these world IDs will be crucial as artificial intelligence becomes more influential and allow humans to prove that they aren't robots. The legality of this collection seems questionable, as do the conditions for storing biometric data, the French privacy watchdog CNIL told Decrypt in an email. CNIL officials said that the agency has begun an investigation and is now coordinating with the Bavarian State Authority in Germany. So multiple countries are looking into this, as well as Britain. On Tuesday, Britain's Information Commissioner Officer had also confirmed to Decrypt that it is making inquiries, not least because the organization needs to perform a data protection impact assessment before they begin collecting such high-risk information. So they basically need to prove that they're storing this data sufficiently and that it won't get hacked and leaked before they're allowed to even collect any data, and they've already begun data collection. So for our total, we are trying to get a little bit of a pump out of our pattern. We have 3 wicks to our resistance. If we do not break through soon, then we could get overall rejection, kind of like here. However, usually when you get wicks, you'll end up with candles that'll fill. So that could be true to the lower side. We could take a little bit of a drop, invalidate this pattern, and then possibly fill the higher wicks. So we'll have to kind of see. Our RSI is slightly trying to creep up. Stochastic wants to run up. Our momentum does want to curl up. Money flow slightly trying to curl off that neutral. And our VWAP is trying to break through that neutral as well. So that could give that our momentum a green dot to push forward. If that does happen, that could help set some bullish momentum, and we could see it break through that resistance line. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are starting to fall away from our flag. We are getting a little bit of a breakout. Our RSI is starting to fall. Stochastic's making a bearish cross and starting to fall. Our money flow is slightly above that neutral, so we're very weak in the bullish territory. VWAP has broken to the bearish territory and is pushing lower. Our momentum is coming down from a red dot, so overall we're getting a little bit of a push away, and we could see some further push down. Over on Bitcoin futures, we are rejecting away from our bullish flag that we had, so we could invalidate this and push lower. We are trying to come back up and test it, but we did get rejected. RSI is trying to head up, Stochastic wants to head up, but our money flow is starting to curl away. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory and giving our momentum a green dot, but it's not very strong currently, so if it rolls over, we could see it drop down. Over on Bitcoin, we are kind of trading sideways here, so we are seeing a potential for a bear flag to form here. RSI has gone kind of flat. Stochastic wants to get a bullish push up, but it's not really going too far right now. Our money flow did break into the bearish territory. It is trying to recover into the bullish territory, so we'll have to see if it can flip bullish and hold and gain some weight. Our VWAP's also trying to do the same, giving our momentum a double green dot, so we'll have to see if this can actually hold. If not, we could get a rejection away and ultimately see a drop. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a slight possibility to form like a kind of pendant here, so that is a 50-50. That could drop us down, could bring us up. Because we're getting lower highs, if we would have made a consistent high, this would have been an ascending wedge, or an ascending triangle rather, which would help push us up. Stochastic is starting to roll over, RSI is starting to push down, money flow is starting to come out, VWAP is starting to come out, our momentum is starting to curl away because our VWAP's losing strength. So overall, we are getting a little bit of a push down here. If this continues, we could be set up to get that money flow rejection on the 1 hour to confirm. Or the 1 day, I mean. Over on the 2 hour, we are getting a little bit of a reversal, so we were trying to go upwards. Now a reversal, that's going to be a drop, so just watch out for that. Money flow is rejecting away from that neutral. Our VWAP is heading down toward that neutral, wants to break through and break bearish. Our stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross, so that stochastic wants to recover, but our RSI is kind of inching its way out. So overall, everything's a little more bearish leaning than bullish on the medium high time frame here, or medium low time frame. RSI is kind of curling away on the 1 hour. Stochastic is starting to fall away. Our momentum's getting a red dot and falling further, so that's not good as our VWAP is rejecting away into the bearish territory. Our money flow is trying to maintain bullish momentum here on the 1 hour, so that's what's kind of keeping the daily alive. But if we flip over and don't get like through this 4-5 area that we're struggling to break through, then we could get a rejection and ultimately the bears could start to get control again. Over on graph, we are slightly pulling away from our point of control. So a little bit of a rejection so far. RSI is going kind of flat. Stochastic wants to get a run up. Our money flow is in the bearish territory. Our VWAP is starting to curl away, but it does want to break through that neutral. If it does break through the neutral, that'll give our momentum a green dot and could help push us through that point of control. If that were to happen, we could make some sort of a ascending triangle here on the daily. That'd take a few weeks, maybe a month to play out, and then it could help push us forward. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic's starting to kind of round off, RSI is kind of starting to round off, our VWAP's starting to round off, and our momentum is in the bullish territory, but if everything else starts to round off, that's going to follow suit. Over on the 2 hour, we are getting a little bit of a green dot after a reversal arrow, so those try to be bullish moves, but the last couple have failed, so just watch out for that. Our stochastic is trying to run up, RSI is trying to run up, momentum's trying to come up, but our VWAP's starting to lose strength, and our money flow is starting to curl away, so our money flow is starting to gain a little more bearish momentum, and could start to inch its way out. Over on the 1 hour, not looking too strong here either. We have bearish divergence on our stochastic, the stochastic's starting to fall. RSI is trying to make a bounce, but if that stochastic starts to fall, that RSI is going to lose strength. That momentum is starting to curl and could start to fall under as our VWAP wants to break in the bearish territory. Our money flow is going good, but if that money flow starts to reverse, then everything else will likely reverse with it. Keep an eye on the money flow. If it keeps moving like this or maintains this area, we could see that help push other time frames up. Over on Anchor, we are trying to push up, so we're still within this pattern. If everything else pushes and pushes bullish, we'll likely invalidate that pattern, so just keep that in mind. Our RSI is trying to overall head up, but it's not making higher highs. Our stochastic wants to head up. Momentum is overall coming out, so our stochastic and momentum still have those bearish divergences forming. VWAP struggling to maintain bullish momentum and starting to push away here. Our money flow is trying to get a little bit of a bounce, but it's not very strong, so we could get a little bit of a rejection if we don't continue with green candles. Over on the 4 hour, we have a little bit of that reversal with the green candle set up, but last one failed. The one before that, it had the two at the same time, and we did run up. This one was one preceding the other, and we did run up. So we do have decent odds here, at least lately. Stochastic's starting to roll over though. RSI wants to head up. Momentum wants to come up. Our VWAP's starting to head down. Our money flow is in bullish territory, and starting to get new highs. So our money flow is doing pretty decent on the 4 hour. Over on the 2 hour here, Stochastic's as overbought as it can be and just riding that zone. RSI has a red dot that wants to bring it down. Our momentum is heading up pretty strongly, but our VWAP's overall getting lower highs and heading toward that neutral, so our VWAP could break in the bearish territory and we could see a drop from here. Our money flow is in the bullish territory, but starting to head back toward that neutral, so if it flips back in the bearish territory, we could get another drop back down as well. Over on the 1 hour, trying to get a little bit of a push up here, not too much though. Stochastic's starting to taper off. RSI is trying to push up. Our momentum wants to make higher highs, but it seems to be struggling. Money flow is running up pretty strong, so the money flow is looking decent, but our VWAP's starting to roll over, so our VWAP could signal that we are going to see a little bit of a push from here. Keep an eye if that breaks bearish and holds, as that'll drag everything else down. Over on XRP for the daily, we are kind of just trading flat, so not doing too good. Might be making more of a descending triangle here that could bring us lower. RSI is going kind of flat. Stochastic's starting to head down. Momentum's starting to come down. Our money flow overall is starting to push out. VWAP's starting to kind of break down. So we are getting slight pushes down as we're getting these very weak sell-off candles. Over on the 4 hour, zoom in. You can see we have all these doji candles that are really hard to even see. But if we zoom out, kind of take a look at everything else, we do have a bit of an up channel here, so that could end up spilling over this could be a bit of a breakdown starting from that. Stochastic's starting to roll over. RSI is going kind of flat. Momentum's got a red dot as our VWAP's not managing to break in the bullish territory, and our money flow is pushing further into the bearish territory, rejecting away from that neutral. Over on the 2 hour, we are again kind of flat here as well. Stochastic's trying to push up, RSI is trying to head up, our money flow is overall inching its way out. Momentum wants to get a green dot as our VWAP's trying to break in the bullish territory and head up, so we'll have to see if that can actually hold and gain some more strength. If not, we could get like this zigzag up and then a big drop, zigzag up, big drop. This could be our zigzag up, and then we could get a big drop after this if we don't get pushed from here. Over on the 1 hour, we have a double manipulation X that wants to bring us down. The Stochastic's starting to bow off and push lower. Our RSI is trying to push up. Our momentum and VWAP are pretty tight, as well as our money flow, so everything's getting real tight and doesn't really know where it wants to go, so just watch for which way it starts to break, as we could set up some sort of a trend. Like last night, we kind of broke up. But ultimately, when we wound up falling back over, as everything kind of cooled off real quick. So we're pretty indecisive here as well. Everything's very tight. We are trying to get a slight bounce off our value area low, but we did try to break out of it as well. RSI is pretty flat, Stochastic's falling down. Our VWAP's going kind of flat. Our money flow is trying to come up. Momentum is trying to come up slightly, but if that VWAP doesn't make it through, then we're going to get a bit of a push down, like I've kind of been warning about. Over on the 4 hour, Stochastic's starting to roll over. RSI is going kind of flat. Money flow is starting to roll over. Our VWAP's pretty flat. Momentum wants to cross that neutral, but if that VWAP loses strength here, that momentum's going to get a red dot and push lower. Over on the 2 hour, we're getting a reversal arrow that wants to bring us down. Our Stochastic's starting to bend over. RSI is starting to overall fall. Momentum's starting to roll over and push down. Our money flow is rejecting away from that neutral, isn't managing to quite get bullish momentum, and our VWAP is pushing down as well. Finally, on the 1 hour, we had a few green dots that get unvalidated. Stochastic's overall pushing down. Momentum's pushing down with the red dot as our VWAP broke in the bearish territory. So if that continues in the bearish territory, that will bring us down, and ultimately we'll see that drop. Our momentum has a red dot that wants to kind of roll over, but we are also trying to flirt with a green dot possibility as our view up's being indecisive. Our money flow is trying to come up, so if that money flow ramps up and the view up crosses over, we could get a push away from this channel. So just keep that in mind and watch out for that possibility as well. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.